Drivers, cyclists, pedestrians, it's that time of year again where you can vote for the CAA's worst roads of 2024. I want to bring our Faiza Amin in on this, who is following the story for us today. Faiza, I understand Toronto had a few streets on the list last year.
Four of them. And if you're looking for a place to vent, well, the CAA is giving you that opportunity as they launch their annual CAA Worst Roads campaign. Everybody's going to want to get in on this. Joining us now to speak about this is Teresa DeFelice with CAA South Central Ontario. Thanks for joining us. I want to talk a little bit first about the repeat offenders when it comes to the complaints people have had, because this is a campaign you've had over 20 years now.
Yes, and we do see some repeat offenders until they come off the list. Eglinton Avenue West is still on the list, although last year Eglinton Avenue East came off. And so, you know, this is a repeat offender because it's a tied to the big construction project of the transit crosslink.
So we're talking potholes, construction you just mentioned. It could be bad traffic lights. And these are things that can impact pedestrians, cyclists, drivers, transit users, all in general. They can vote.
Correct. The CAA Worst Roads campaign is open to all road users, whether you get around on 4 wheels, 2 wheels, or by foot. And yes, predominantly people take to it because of poor road maintenance, cracks in the pavement, potholes, and congestion. But also topping the list last year at about 4th place was lack of cycling infrastructure, and then even lack of pedestrian infrastructure. And bad signs, poor traffic lights, all of those things. It's got something for everybody, and we want people to have their say.
And listen, when it comes to road maintenance too, and those pesky potholes, I know a lot of people aren't fans of those. There's a price tag attached here for the driver.
We conducted a survey of our members in January, and we asked about the impact of bad roads. And what was startling is that about 42% of people had to fix their cars because of poor roads, and 82% are paying out of pocket. On average, they were paying $852. So this is a significant cost that you weren't expecting, and as a result of poor infrastructure.
And you're also getting over 3,000 roads that were nominated last year. We mentioned 4 in Toronto: Eglinton Avenue West, Finch, Steeles, and Lakeshore. How often is it that these roads become repeat offenders year after year? And what does that say to you?
That, we do have a tough winter. We have weather that impacts the infrastructure. Steeles Avenue hasn't appeared on the list for a really long time, and it started to resurface over the last 2 years. And so, all infrastructure does have sort of a timeline to it. But, some municipalities are really great at sort of wanting to see that road come off the list and take action.
You call this an advocacy campaign where you said in some cases you've gotten action. Tell me what impact this campaign has on improving our roads for all users.
So the way that this campaign works, we reveal a top 10 list later on after the campaign closes on April 19th. But there's the list that gets attention, so politicians are watching it. We know municipal staff too are watching the trending roads as people are voting throughout the campaign. And so you'll start to see pothole crews all of a sudden take to the roads. We have seen roads that weren't slated to be fixed till a few years down the road get money funded within the same year that they end up on the top 10 or on the regional lists. Also, we have conversations. CAA has an advocacy team. We talk to government about this campaign, both at the municipal level, those that are having a road on the list, but as well as to senior levels about funding and what municipalities need to help fix the roads.
Okay, you mentioned government there. The provincial government releasing its budget yesterday. When it comes to roads and improving our roads for users, did you see enough money allocated there, enough to make a change?
There's some significant dollars that have been put towards road infrastructure, especially some new projects that are happening, major transit investment. Of course, people will have to put up with a little short-term pain as some of this gets fixed. And in some cases with the transit projects, we know some of these projects are years. So this is also why some of these roads are appearing on the list. It's multi-year frustration of dealing with the congestion and poor road surface. But again, sometimes we've seen even that get fixed because they realize, okay, it's not going to be paved till later on. So let's fix some of the little potholes and things to make it a little bit better than what it is.
I wonder if this is therapeutic for road users to kind of see the road that's been, annoying them for years on that list?
Oh, I think it is. It finally says I have a voice. Because individually what we find is, 74% of our respondents to our survey are saying they vent about bad roads, but they're venting family, friends, loved ones.
Yeah.
They're not venting to local politicians who have to take the action. But I can understand that. It's kind of like, well, I have one voice. This campaign joins a community of voices and really has a bigger impact by joining together, because you may not know people in your community who are having the same pain point as you, and it's kind of that crowdsource fuel behind the numbers.
Teresa DeFelice, thank you so much. Hey, Mel, so you can go ahead and go to the CAA's website, cast your ballot. The campaign has started. You have until April 19th, and then at the end of May, that's when the top 10 lists will get released, and it's cheaper than therapy if you think about it. Right?
Faiza, two of the many things I appreciated about your report there, that you managed to work in the term pesky potholes, and also, I'm going to ask you a question in a second
Pesky
here,
potholes.
that this is a way to vent. Is there anything you'd like to get off your chest?
I'm good. I'm a subway girl, but I hear it from a lot of our camera operators, and I think right now they're a bit nervous about the Gardner, which Teresa and I spoke about a little bit. As some of you guys know at home, that there's some construction work underway, and it's a 3-year project, so there's a bit of nervousness when it comes to that. And I asked Teresa if people can nominate highways and expressways, and she says you can.
Okay, nothing off the table there. Thanks for that, Faiza. Looking forward to that list coming out in May of the CAA's worst roads. Thanks again, Faiza.